canceled your alarm for 8:56 p.m.
Hello friends, happy Friday. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Your weekend's off to a great start and you're ready for a fun time tonight. So let's see who we've got joining us so far. We got my buddy Tim Fournier. Good to see you, Tim. JMZ56, Street Glide Piper, Clarence Wood, Kirk from Florida. Hello, Kirk. Hope everyone is well in your household there. Luke Reisner. Good to see you, Luke. Texas Piper. Hello, Eddie. Listening on the way home from work. Well, drive safe, buddy. Glenn Dunnington. Good to see you, Glenn. Opossum Piper. And Piper on the 45. Nice crowd already. It's great to see you guys. This is going to be one of those nights where I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but none of it's really holding together into any sort of cohesive topic or anything. So we're just going to shoot the breeze and we'll see where it takes us. Jeffrey Feinberg. Hello, Jeffrey. And Kilted Piper Steve and Miss Kathy. Good to see you guys tonight. Taciturn Richard. Cat Dad Piper. Hello. Hobbiton Piper. Welcome, Kevin. Welcome, Grandpa. George Tiedemann. All right. Very good to see familiar names and not so familiar names. Makes the Friday night experience all the better. I have my 7LE622 KS with the custom stem, and yeah, it's Haunted Bookshop. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to apologize for smoking a wonderful tobacco. Bona Piper. Hello, Christian. Good to see you tonight. Bob Kraus. Hello, Bob. New and a new pipe smoker. Well, welcome, Bob. It's great to have you. You won't find a nicer, more welcoming group of guys, and you won't find a better group to learn from. So you landed in a good place, Bob. Frank Gallic, hello Frank, and Michael Case, hello Michael. Michael's smoking a Toscano Garibaldi cigar, very nice. Scott at the 16th day, good to see you, Scott. Paul the Piper, great to see you tonight, Paul, welcome. Tim Fournier is loading some dark fragrant in his 7LE614 that he just fought with cleaning out. That can be a fight sometimes. Armchair Piper, hello Ed. Hello there. And Everett Young, hey, good to see you, buddy. Andrew Sirigliano, how you doing tonight, my friend? The Night Piper, Old Costello is legit and ready for a stem. All right, sounds good, John. I got your email about the colors, and I'll see what I can do. A red band is not going to happen, just because the bands are silver or gold. That's all I can do. But I could maybe do a stem adornment, an embellishment, like have a little red piece followed by a green stem. We'll work something out. Boris the Piper. Hello, Boris and Patrick Grant. Good to see you, Patrick. Everett's lighting up some haunted bookshop in his 7LE623. Smoking Kentucky Piper. Good evening, sir. And Timber Drifter. Good to see you, fellow pipe smoker. Ochoita, hello. How are you, my friend? What is on my ring? Tape? Yes. Yes, Jeffrey, it is tape. I've lost some weight and the ring falls off, so I got to get it resized. And I try to keep it turned that way so it's not so noticeable, but sometimes I forget. Uh-oh. Sounds like Hoppin' and Piper is challenging Eric. Everett, rather. Ah, there I go calling Everett Eric again. Sorry, Everett. Okay, Night Piper. We'll go for Italian for sure. JMZ 56, some HH Rustica. Very good. Indeed, Scott. That's one thing we can be sure about. Everett will smoke just about all of us under the table, won't he? He's quite a man. Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. We knew you were kidding, Devin. So we got a respectable crowd. Wasn't sure how things were going to go tonight because I didn't get a chance to do a video on Wednesday to let folks know I was going to be on tonight. And I haven't really had time to post anything, so I just figured folks that show up will show up and we'll have a good time. Oh no, Everett's raising the stakes with Rustica. Yes, I do, Tim. The Star Trek episode with the doppelgangers, yes. Well, Choita, it's nice of you to join us with your meal. We appreciate that. Kilted Piper Steve and Miss Kathy have some condor from Badger. And favorite Meerschaum. That must be Steve. Very nice, Steve. I hear good things about condor. I have some, but I'm afraid. Well, Christian, I've lost those too. We had an incident the other day that thankfully it was in the house, but I have lost a fair amount of weight, and I'm getting new clothes, but I'm still wearing some of the older clothes like around the house and stuff, and this one pair of pants just it went in the trash right after this incident. But I was getting something out of the fridge for my wife, and I reached up to get it, and as I reached up, the pants went down, and I jumped to try to fix that, and I hit one of the door shelves with my elbow, and it got knocked off, and things flew. It was a lot of fun. We laughed. It was it was a good time. Michael, you asking about my date for tonight? Mike Doppelganger. Gotcha, Tim. No, I'll explain what happened. I'll explain. Yeah, it's just the whole Lakeland thing that I'm a little worried about, Patrick. And Everett, I appreciate that. If it comes to it, if I can't man up and try it in the next year, it'll be on its way to you. Paul Rolio, good to see you tonight, Paul. And Big Dave. Yes, it was a wardrobe malfunction, Tim. No Street Glide Piper. I'm going to complain to my wife tonight about the lack of dollar bills. Piper on the 45's got some haunted bookshop going and a Savinelli 673 and a Guinness on the side. And he's going to let Everett and I fight over the saving it all for you and Everett to fight over. Oh, it's once a week. Oh, okay. So you're rationing out the haunted bookshop, so there's more for Everett and I to fight over. Sorry, Piper on the 45. It took me a minute to figure that out. Yes, Christian, I've often been compared to her. Yeah. Blue Ice and Tonic. Nice, Gary. She doesn't need to up her game, Street Glide. Tonight I am drinking some Yingling Lager. Middleton Hickory. Never had it, Big Dave. I've often wanted to try it, but never had it. Just traditional Yingling. Good stuff. Gary Edminster, hello there. Good to see you. Oh, Tim, you've lost some too then, huh? That's good. I mean, it's not good about the pants, but you know, you can always buy pants. Cat Dad Piper's got some cross-eyed cricket in his 320. Now, I don't know if I've ever had cross-eyed cricket. I know it's fairly popular. Ben Greenman, good to see you, Ben. One button theme on the wardrobe, huh, Gary? That's wise. Oh yeah, Big Dave, I'd love to hear about it. I know nothing about that blend, and I've been curious about it for a long time. Patrick Grant's drinking Redemption bourbon with some Jamaican grapefruit soda. Well, that sounds good. All right, Tim's lighting up the Sav at 8:12. Almost did military time there. Old Rolio is old dark fired in his Molina ants, pardon me. Steve Russell, anyone heard how Brian Doran is doing? I did not know that Brian was having a problem. What's going on? And has anyone heard any updates from Brian? That's where it went, Michael. Gotcha. Does anyone... Oh, really, Steve? Oh, gosh. So Brian's whole family has COVID. That is terrible. Oh, thank you, Everett. I missed the video. I'm way behind, but yeah, it seems like COVID's becoming a common occurrence again. So let's keep Brian and his family in prayer. Um, that's got to be tough if it's the whole family. That's got to be really tough for him. And Brian's a really good guy, so let's be sure to keep him in prayer. And that related, well, not related to that, but on a sadly similar thing I wanted to tell you about. I heard from a mutual friend today that our buddy Eric, the blue collar pipe smoker, his dad has COVID, and it's apparently pretty bad. They took him to the hospital today. I don't know anything. I haven't been in touch with Eric, and I've only been in touch with this mutual friend who let me know. Please keep Eric in your prayers, and keep his dad in your prayers, and Brian and his family as well. And if you're not the praying sort, then think kindly of them. Do whatever you do. But this is rough, and these are good friends, and we gotta do what we can for them. Ah, Tim, I am so sorry, my friend. I know. I'll get you to this weekend, I promise. Steph and Skip Kane are lurking. It's great to have you guys. Great to have you both. Thank you for lurking. Jack Kurtz, hey Jack. He's got Haunted Bookshop in his Matches commemorative pipe. Oh, it's great to see you tonight, Jack. Thanks for joining us, buddy. I bet you got some honey whiskey with that too. Oh, even his grandchildren. Wow. Oh my goodness, I did not know that, Patrick. Night Pipers. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'll certainly include Night Piper and his family in prayers as well. Yes, my pipe and I, well put. Prayers for everyone going through this. It's just a heck of a thing, and it's not getting better. You can, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into it. You've all had more than enough of that talk. The other thing I wanted to mention that is completely unrelated to COVID, but is very topical right now, is that tomorrow is the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. And I'm not the kind of person that feels comfortable commemorating tragedy. I think that the people that die tragically would rather we move on and do something positive. So I don't like the looking back, but I also, it's hard to watch what's going on right now in the news and not feel a bit disturbed by things. It's a tough time, and this is going to be a tough weekend for a lot of people. So certainly, you know, prayers and good thoughts for everyone suffering with COVID and going through this, and let's hope that we get past this somehow soon. But also, you know, keep those 9/11 folks in mind. There's still a lot of people out there that are suffering because of that, and like I said, I think recent events have not made it any easier on them. 302, do it. What are we trying to get Street Glide Piper to do? I know Tim wanted me to smack myself. The first do it I saw was related to that. Ah, been getting an itch to do his first video. Well, yeah, do it. Definitely do it. Oh, Swaggy Man lost his dad. Wow, this is turning out to be a pretty sad live stream. It's just terrible how much this has affected so many people. And you're right, Steve. There's a lot of sickness, and it's not just COVID. I mean, there's a lot of people suffering with a lot of other things. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at it's the way I deal with stress. There's nothing funny about this. All briared up and his wife are, okay, upper respiratory. Well, hopefully that's not COVID. And Steve and Miss Kathy are filling in for his live tomorrow. He's got a live on Saturdays now? I thought that was Chris. Is that 9 o'clock, Steve? So 9 o'clock tomorrow night, if you're looking for a live stream, Steve and Miss Kathy will be stepping in for All Briared Up. And definitely pray for our wounded troops. Indeed, Gary. Steve, is that your birthday? Or it's around that time? I know, and I'm sorry. It was hard for me to even bring up. I mean, this is, I think, the first time I brought it up since I've been doing YouTube stuff. I just thought that given what's happening right now, and given that it is 20, I just felt like I had to say something. Ron Hardcrackers, smoking Sir Walter Raleigh, and a Calabrese Metamorphosis. Blasted straight grain billiard. Coconut sparkling water on the side. Sounds fantastic there, Ron. You got that right, my pipe and I. We're very lucky to be part of this community. Very lucky because there's support all around. Oh, he goes on after Chris. Gotcha, Steve. Gotcha. Scott, the closest thing I've had to Lakeland is Mixture 79, and a lot of Lakeland smokers tell me that ain't a Lakeland. So I've just always been afraid of them. I don't know, that sounds a little silly, but... All right, Texas Piper is at home. Fantastic. Haunted Bookshop and a Peterson Billiard with the Last Shiner Strawberry Blonde. Wow. Well, Steve, a very happy birthday to you, buddy. I wish you all the best. Oh, gotcha, my pipe and I. Well, I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I know when I got it, it was like 3 days before I felt normal again. Taciturn Richard, that's a good tip. I have some Bob's Chocolate Flake. That's another one that I've been afraid of. Yeah, I should probably make the jump and try one of them. If nothing else, it'll make a great video, my first Lakeland experience. A lot of Lakeland fans, huh? Yeah, I would definitely take that advice, Patrick. Probably go with a Cobb, um, at least until I figure it out. So I did. Yeah, I got a Lakeland story to tell you. Actually, there was one other that I had. Big Country Briar Pegasus with some Toscano cigar leaf. Oh, that sounds good. And a Savinelli Guandel. Nice. Oh, Street Glide, that is so good to hear. And I know what you mean. I mean, just watching the videos that folks put up, even if they're not talking about anything important, and I can't stress that enough. You know, just sitting down and having a pipe and watching somebody else smoke a pipe, it's such a fantastic way to unwind and lose the stress of the day. And if you're working in something like that, I can see the value. Everett Young, Chris is injured his foot and he's wearing a walking cast for the next few weeks. How the heck did he injure his foot? That's terrible. Well, we'll have to keep I'm Just Chris in prayer too. And Tim is starting his second book. Good deal. I'm about a quarter of the way through your first book, Tim. I'm not reading it very quickly, but I am reading it. There you go, Andrew. I hope it's not as bad as that face, but yeah, we could do the comparison. I don't have a video on Plain Old Haunted Bookshop, Eddie. That's a good point, and the reason is I've been smoking it for so long. It's kind of like background for me, and so many people have done videos on it that I just never thought it was necessary, really. Uh, I've talked a couple of times about how I first got introduced to it, but I've never done a video about the actual tobacco. Handsome Cab? I'll take a look at that, Michael. Stonehenge Flake. Ah, Steph and Skip got their patio tent up. Very nice. Does that mean they'll be alive tomorrow, Steph? So far, Tim, I like it. I do. It's kind of up my alley, uh, theologically, and it's an interesting read. It's not something I can read quickly, so that's why it's taken me so long to work through it. But it's yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Steve Russell for breakfast, a large coffee and 3 bowls of 1792. Wow. So Street Glide, I'm far from an expert on Lakelands, but there traditionally blends that came from the Lakeland district in the UK, and they tend to have these very distinctive toppings, often floral, and use things like rose water, things that taste a bit odd to many pipe smokers, and are apparently ghost quite effectively. Ricky Lee Reynolds, according to Ron Hardcrackers, original member of the band Black Oak, Arkansas, died early this morning, hospitalized from an illness from a cardiac arrest. Wow, wrote most of the songs in rhythm guitar. That's sad. Yeah, grandma's undergarments. I've heard old ladies' purses. I've heard all sorts of that sort of thing. Granny panties, grandmother's bathrooms. St. Bruno and Condor taste very similar. Okay, Everett, that's interesting. Very definition heavy from DSM-5. Interesting, Tim. That would possibly be even more up my alley. I'm gonna switch pipes here, and I got to tell you my Lakeland story, because I was wrong when I said Mixture 79 was the only one. Way back, I don't remember when. I was living here, so it's been within the past 20 years. But I went to, I think it was Cigar International, which is up in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. And they have a respectable selection of pipe tobaccos and pipes. And they even have some house blends. Now, the house blends are almost entirely repackaged lane, you know, as you'd expect. But it was pretty much the best tobacconist type place that I could find in the area. So I went up there. It was the first time I went, and I just wanted, and it's mostly a cigar shop, a Cigar International, as you would expect. It's a huge cigar shop, and then this back corner is pipes. And I went in, and I'm just looking, and I was getting interested in vapors and Perique at the time, getting more interested, I guess. And one of the helpful cigar folks came over and asked me if he could help me. And this is actually a recurring theme when I go there. If I go back to the pipe section, a cigar guy comes over and asks to help me, and then when I tell him what I'm looking for, he has no idea what I'm talking about. But by the way, matches Memorial, Savinelli, and I'm gonna get some more Haunted Bookshop. So I said, well, you know, I'm looking for something that's kind of Perique heavy. Do you have anything like that? And he just looked completely puzzled. And he started talking about their pipe club, and they did have a monthly pipe club. I don't know if they still have it or not. Gave me a flyer for it, and said that they had a blend that had Perique in it that was made special for the pipe club. And I thought, well, that's interesting, yeah. And the name of the blend was St. James Lake. And there's a Virginia Perique, I believe it was McClellan. It was either McClellan or Nording who had St. James River. It's probably like McClellan. And okay, Ron, have a good dinner. Good to see you, buddy. Have a great weekend. So I wanted to buy something, and there was nothing else really striking me. And he said, oh, this has Perique in it. And I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a try, because St. James River was familiar, and this was St. James Lake. I thought it was an attempt to match St. James River. Well, the word lake was in there for a reason. This stuff was awful. You know, it was really like smoking. The closest thing I can say that it tasted like, and it wasn't exactly this, but it tasted almost like baby powder. And it coated my palate for days. Like anything I smoked tasted like that. It took forever to get the pipe unghosted. It was a really bad experience. So that was the one other Lakeland that I tried, and I'm not going to judge by that because it was a private club blend, and the guy that made it maybe had no idea what he was doing. I don't know. But I'm not going to write off all Lakelands because of that one experience. You've been to a Cigar International pipe counter, Eddie. My pipe and I is Eden. Well, thanks for checking on that, Steph. And sorry I didn't recognize you, Eden. Gary, I don't know what you're saying that in reference to, but yes, that is a bad idea. No, Taciturn Richard, I actually have it in a jar. I don't know why. If there's any blend that I will die without smoking, it's that one. I might try to foist it off on somebody someday. Doug Owen, good to see you tonight, Doug. Sen. I haven't thought of that in a long time, Michael. Interesting. That is an unusual flavor for sure. Indeed, Eddie. Indeed. If you've smoked a pipe, you're probably the most knowledgeable person about pipes in the store. But they do have a fairly good selection of tobaccos. It's probably true, Steve, that you got to develop a taste for it. Send it to Everett, he'll smoke anything. Not anything. We know there's one blend Everett won't smoke. Actually, I believe there's two blends he won't smoke. Gary, there's not enough BCA in existence to fix this blend. Oh, cool. Doug just got out the fall shipment of Peterson and Savinelli's from the store. Very nice. Oh, Tim. You can do better than that. Oh, that is a shame, Eddie. I had hoped that they would that was a common part of their stores, but I guess not. Eden BCA is a Lane aromatic that some folks say might be Captain Black original, and it's similar to Lane 1Q in my opinion. I'm sure that there's people that'll tell me I'm terribly wrong about that. Have not had Revoir Plug, Hobbiton. I've heard people rave about it as well. BCA is all dark Cavendish, but it does have a topping, doesn't it, Gary? Oh, Timber Drifter's another Lakeland fan. Night Piper gets extra points for bringing up Zima. Yes, Piper on the Porch. I am doing a Halloween video this year. I've decided on the topic and started to put it together. We're also going to have a Halloween special here on a Friday night. Still working out the details of that, but I'll let you know once it's ready for prime time. Okay, Tim, that's better. It's humble for you. Oh boy. Gallatin Brown Flake Aromatic. Actually smells and tastes a bit like A&W root beer. Oh, that's not bad, Ochoita. I could handle A&W root beer. Eden counters with the counters the Night Piper Zima comment, huh? BCA topped with a lot of vanilla, yeah. That's a problem for me. I've never met a vanilla tobacco that I could smoke. Van Diemen's Land Piper. Good morning. Welcome from down under. Good to have you tonight. Yeah, you know that is a really interesting point, Texas Piper. Not McClellan, Peretti blends have a very unique topping on them that I can't identify, but it kind of is a little bit floral, and I could imagine that if something's heavily topped, it might even appear to be Lakeland like. Portsmouth Piper, happy Friday to you. Good to see you tonight. So I wanted to tell you the reason I'm here tonight and not at a beach. And also the reason why I'm dressed so warmly, given that it is still September. Our air conditioner broke. It was giving us trouble earlier in the season, but it completely died. And unfortunately, it meant that the compressor burned out, and apparently when the compressor burns out, it can actually damage the inside, what is that thing called, the exchanger. But even if it hadn't, our system is 20 years old, and they said that they just can't get a matching compressor for it anymore, so they would have had to have replaced the inside unit anyway. So this happened, I forget what day it happened, it doesn't matter. But we want to get it repaired or replaced at this point, it turns out. And the first availability was today, and oh, Paul, thank you so much for that. There's your foghorn, my friend. Very kind of you, Paul. Air handler, is that what it's called? Yeah. Anyway, so the bottom line is no air conditioning, so we got all the windows open because it gets hot during the day. But at night it was 50 last night, and the house was just like really cold all day today. But I didn't want to close the windows because then it would get hot, and so I just had to, layer up and live with it. It's going to be expensive, so we decided that probably the wisest course is to not take a vacation this weekend. And so you get me instead. Now, if I find out any of you sabotage my air conditioner just to keep me here, I'm going to be... that would be rather cruel and unnecessary. Oh, Jack has switched over to his spaniel pipe. Yeah, Doug, he loves that. And he told me something really interesting the other day that I don't think he'd mind me saying. He got one of Larry Blackett's Sherlock tampers, and the reason he got that is that one of his Springer Spaniels was actually sired by, and I don't know if it was the mother or father, but the name of the dog was Sherlock. So he uses the Sherlock tamper with the spaniel pipe, and there's a nice connection there for him. Steph and Skip, thank you so much. That is very kind of you. Yeah, Tim, it is free air conditioning, I suppose. That could be, Andrew. I don't know if their components are from Gawith, and maybe that is where some of their blends get that flavor from. But I don't think I've ever smoked anything from Peretti that didn't have that flavor. It's very distinctive, and yeah, it's just very distinctive. Tim, did Couch come in, and did I miss him? And what did the two of you do? Yeah, Doug, we talked about that shortly before. Oh, name that pipe. Thank you so much, sir. I think you guys are just enjoying the foghorn. Thank you. That's really kind of you. Doug, we had talked about the Beans family, Brian Doran's family, and the fact that they all had COVID, and just terrible to hear that. And we've asked for prayers. Also mentioned, if you've come in later, that Eric the Blue Collar Pipe Smoker's dad has COVID and is apparently in the hospital. So prayers would be appropriate for him as well, for both Eric, his family, and especially for his dad, and of course for Brian's whole family. Tough times, definitely tough times. So thank you for bringing that up, Doug. That is correct. Mortimer did own a small spaniel. Very good, Doug. Someday. Couch, thank you so much, my friend. I do appreciate that so much. And I'm sorry you got blamed for something you didn't do. It was Tim's fault. Sabotage. Yes, Tim. This is true when it comes to AC. And it's good that you could join us, Couch. He's working, but he's listening in, and we do appreciate that. So we can't talk about him anymore because we know he's listening. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I wanted to tell you about the auction, which is getting delayed, and I apologize for this. Will do, Steph and Skip. I will definitely say hi to Alyssa for you. Thank you so much. I told you last week, I think I told you last week, that I had filed through the stem for the Cobb mod that I was originally making for Justin Aldrich and had decided I would finish and auction off. I made a second stem and I filed through the second stem. This is really strange. It's really, really strange because I do this a couple times a year maybe. It does happen, but to do it twice on the same stem, well, the same pipe, this is odd. So I got a little spooked by it. I'm, starting to think things like maybe this pipe wasn't meant to be, but I'm going to finish it. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of that color acrylic, so I had to order some more. And I'm going to be shut down while I'm waiting for that. And I've got other pipes I got to work on. So it's going to be a couple of weeks. I got in touch with James Stumbo because James was really kind. He made some beautiful stuff for the auction. Can't wait to show you that. And I'll make a video as we get closer to it where I show you everything that's going to be auctioned off. So we will be doing this, but it's going to be a few more weeks before we can. And boy, I tell you, I said some very choice words when I did the first one. The second one, I just was speechless. I couldn't believe it when I saw the hole. Very odd. Couch, you're having trouble getting the radio to connect to the repeaters. We should talk. Let me know if you got some time this weekend. We can call one another and talk through that. I might have some suggestions for you. The We Three Kings, yeah. I think I don't think this is the first time they put out We Three Kings, and I've had it a while back. I gotta tell you, as much as I love Cornell and Deal, their aromatics just do not sit well with me for the most part. The only one I've ever been really happy with is Autumn Evening, and that's a very unique aromatic in the way that it's topped and cased actually with the flavoring. So I didn't like We Three Kings, but I look forward to your impressions there, Andrew. And you didn't mind Good Old Days of Yore, so maybe it'll be up your alley. Gary Edminster's having some of his blend in a Peterson Full Bent. Okay, that would probably be about the right time frame, Andrew. All briared up. Hey, John, how you doing, buddy? We heard you were under the weather. It's good to see you tonight. A week and a half of winter. I don't know about. I'd be perfectly happy if that was all we got. Oh, Timber Drifter, then you you know how it felt then, huh? Yeah, Autumn Evening's one of those love it or hate it blends, it seems. I think the secret for me is that I don't smoke it more than once every couple of weeks. Um, and I only smoke it when I'm working down here and on the weekend. But it checks my boxes when I'm in the mood for something aromatic, which is not very often, but it's good. Yeah, I could see that Big Country Briar. Epiphany does have something fruity going on there. I could never quite put my finger on it. Fruit stripe gum, maybe. Oh, sorry to hear that, John. 3 days without a pipe, that's terrible. I hope it does pass soon. Yeah, Jim, I tried the black gold maple and I didn't like it. I prefer the autumn evening. Van Diemen's Land Pipers smoking some Latakia Flake. Good stuff. Carolina Smoker, good evening to you, sir. Good to have you tonight. Yeah, so Bona Piper also says it's a once in a while blend for him. Oh, fantastic, Andrew. What part of Vermont are you going to? I'd love to see some video of that. Any other aromatics I like? Street Glide. The one other one that I can say I honestly like and I would want to order more of is the Dan Tobacco Sweet Vanilla Honeydew. So earlier when I said I never liked a vanilla tobacco, I was lying. That's one that, but it's hardly vanilla at all. The honeydew melon flavor is really prominent in it, and it's really good tobacco. That's one that I would buy more of. And the autumn evening. Those are the only ones that I've found that I would really stick with. Name That Pipe is having some Windjammer and 7LE111. Good. Tobacco detox isn't fun, John. Yeah, well, Jim, I'm a weird guy. You know, what do you expect? Yes, once does count as once in a while, Eden. Ah, the Battenkill, okay, near Manchester. Nice. I'm heading up to, I think, and I haven't planned it yet, but I think in October I'm going to head up to, uh, early October. I'm going to head up to see my dad in northern Vermont, and he's way up an hour north of Stowe. But I'm going to try to make a fishing trip out of that. And if I can, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it in Vermont or I might actually go up through the Catskills and maybe spend a couple days in Roscoe. Andrew Wumble, do I have seasonal rotations for blends? I really don't. I mean, I try to do some holiday blend. There's like I sometimes get the Peretti Thanksgiving Day. I try to do something Christmassy, but I've never really found anything that I stuck with. So, you know, for the most part, I'm pretty consistent now with Haunted Bookshop and Pegasus and an occasional something else just for variety. I don't have it manufactured in the house, Eddie. Got a outbuilding out back where they put it together. Willie Volunteer Piper is wanting to give away some honeydew tobacco. That's worth looking in on. Yeah, Andrew, I agree. It is under the radar. I never would have tried it, but my buddy, the Durham Duke, sent me some, and it was fantastic. Jeffrey Feinberg, good night. Thanks so much for joining us. You have a great weekend, my friend. Uh-oh. Tim has to relight. Well, Tim, if I got it right, that's a respectable 48 minutes. Not bad. Alberg, okay, Street Glide, yeah. I actually go through that area, I think. I so I usually when I go to visit, it's just faster to stay in New York and go up to Plattsburgh and take the ferry across, and then I come. It's close to Grand Isle. I think it's called Grand Isle. As I said that, it didn't sound right to me because now I'm thinking it's Louisiana. But anyway, I'm familiar with Lake Champlain area. Timber Drifter's got a Fuente Natural and a new Glarus Staghorn Oktoberfest beer. Sounds good. Well, Everett, you know, I can tolerate Lane HDL. It's not like I buy it by the pound anymore. Sudliff Black Spice is a good one. Name that pipe, and that's one that I've had sometimes in the holiday season. Trouttown, USA. Yes, indeed, Andrew. There's a little motel that's right on the same road as the Catskill Fly Fishing Museum, and it's this great place. It's basically a bar with rooms, and I think it's like $60 a night. The rooms are terrible. You wouldn't want to stay there unless you were fishing, and but you can sleep. You got a shower, and then you're right there on the river, and you can eat at the bar. So it's a great time. I love going there. I don't know if they're still there. I haven't been in years, but autumn pipe tobaccos are the only autumn you're going to have, huh, Big Dave? Yeah. Ganjuana, happy Friday to you, sir. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for holding that back, Tim. All the way up 87, yeah. Go through Rouse Point. Yes, yes, that sounds familiar. Perique Piper Skip, they're selling Yingling in Texas now. Well, Texas, that's just another reason that Texas is such a great state. No, Tim. No, I'm just not going to answer that. Vodka needs a refill stand. Oh, okay. Okay, Gary, we will stand by. More bars and motels. Was that Roscoe, Scott? You can leave your fly open when you fly fish because you got waders. Nobody would ever know. Ah, sea run trout. That sounds like a lot of fun, Van Diemen's. Corvette Jim fishes at the drive-thru. Oh, Warhorse Bar is good, Carolina Smoker. That's very good. I make the mistake every year of trying to find something aromatic. You know, I'm looking for something cinnamony and, you know, that kind of stuff. And yeah, maybe picking something that's just special would be a better idea. And like I've got some fairly old tins of Three Nuns up there that I've been aging for a while. Maybe actually open one of those or, you know, something like that. Just enjoy it. I do have several tins of Black Frigate that I bought. That was one that I really liked and, you know, thought was going to be a holiday blend. But when I think of it, I think of the Latakia. It's not bad. It's not bad in terms of Latakia, and it's got a really nice rum topping on it. But every time I go to reach for a tin of that, I think, do I really want the Latakia? That's very wise, Patrick. Travel with the bottle. Ah, I got you, Scott. Yeah, you don't see those much anymore, and that's kind of a shame because you know, I'm not that big of a drinker, but it's just kind of nice after a day of fishing to be able to sit at a bar, get some good food and a beer. It just kind of makes the day complete. If only they would let me bring a pipe or a cigar in there, that would be even better, but can't do that. That's true, Doug. What you want to do is you want to train the little flies to use those arms to hold onto the hook. And then when they least expect it, you just put a couple wraps on. That's the best way to do it. But the training is hard. Everett's Holiday Blend will be Haunted Bookshop. Ah, Tim's got some Black Frigate. Yeah, it's if you haven't tried it, Tim, it's not bad. But if you open it, the one thing I learned was you want to put it in a jar right away because that topping is very ephemeral. To get it in a jar and it'll treat you right. And Gary thought it was okay. Yeah, Jim, there's something wonderful about bar food, and I find the more beer that I have with it, the better it tastes, which is interesting. Van Diemen's has got some aging for, you know, maybe I'll do Black Frigate this Christmas. Return to that for a year and see how it is. All right, Hobbit and Piper, thanks for joining us, Kevin. You have a great weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Captain Black Advil. All right, let's. What time? Yeah, we got time. Let's do one more in the 6:22. You know, I try to do a variety of pipes on Friday nights for this stream. You know, I always do the Matches Memorial pipe, and then I try to pick something else. But this 6:22 is actually my Friday pipe. Was before I got the Matches Memorial pipe, and that's why it shows up so often on Fridays. And it is just a wonderful pipe. I love the pot shape is really my favorite, and it just is wonderful with burleys. Yes, Tim, that grease to beer ratio is very important. when you're a bar food connoisseur. Name that pipe. I think I did try Sleepy Hollow years back and was not that thrilled with it, but I'm not an aromatic guy. Oh, Texas Piper, C&D Gray Ghost, and a Yingling. Wow, that Gray Ghost is good stuff. I wish they sold that in bulk. Northwest Pie Smoker, you got that right. No need to worry about driving after after dinner and drinks. Yep, that is the best part indeed. Yeah, I've been, since I've been trying to lose weight and watching my diet, I've been staying away from bar food. Not that we're barflies or anything, but we would go out at least once a week usually, and often it was a bar. And the bigger problem for me was you have 2 beers, which is a lot of calories, a lot of carbs. But the food was usually something like a cheeseburger or something like that. And so it's been almost a year that I've been completely off that kind of food. And when we were in Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago, we went down to the area that's called the Point, or the confluence, where the 3 rivers meet. And we went there because my wife wanted to see the Mr. Rogers Memorial. So we saw the Mr. Rogers Memorial. That was really nice. And then we decided to walk around, look for a place to get dinner. And while we were walking along, this storm rolled in, and we wound up, I think I told this story now that I'm telling it again, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but we wound up in this bar called Tequila Cowboy, right on the same street as Heinz Field. And we wound up having dinner there, and oh boy, it was wonderful. It had just been so long since I had that kind of food, and I missed it, but I paid for it. I felt really sluggish the next day, and just low energy, and not myself. So unfortunately, I think those days are behind me, which I guess is fortunate for me and my heart and my longevity. Oh, Everett, I'm so sorry I forced you to load up some more Haunted Bookshop there, buddy. I know how much of a chore that is for you. Lounge lizards. Thanks, Skip. That's much better. Hardest part about a bar is when it's made from lead. Ha ha, Tim. Reminds me of the old grade school joke, 2 guys walk into a bar, which was really stupid because after the first guy walked into it, you think the second guy would have seen it. I know it's a stupid joke. Orchard Mist. Sounds interesting there, Jim. I know enough about the Tilted Kilt to know that I will not take my wife there, Big Country Briar. Yeah, Eddie, that's what happens. And it's usually that thing where you get together with a group of people you haven't seen in a while, and you just fall back into those old patterns and you pay for it the next day. But it's worth it. I don't know if I ever told you this story. The tilted kilt reminded me of it. Um, we lived in Atlanta for 5 years, I think, when I was a postdoc at Emory. And it was different. And you guys that live down south, I assume it's still like this. I don't know. But Hooters was not a seedy place in Atlanta. It was actually, believe it or not, it was like a family restaurant. We would go in there. This is going to sound ridiculous. I mean, it sounds ridiculous up here in Pennsylvania. Nobody believes me. But Sunday evening, you'd go in like after church, and there'd be families at Hooters, kids running around and stuff. And they had really good wings. And that's one of the reasons I'd like to go there. So my wife and I actually went to Hooters quite a bit. Now, when we moved up to Pennsylvania, I realized that wasn't a very common thing. And, a couple of times I got myself in trouble because, it's like, hey, where do you want to go for lunch? I'd say, hey, how about we go to, it didn't fly here. And they didn't believe that it was different in Atlanta, but it just wasn't seedy. It was very different. But it still had the short shorts and the tight shirts and all that stuff. So it was still Hooters. So one day, I'm in the lab, postdoc, and one of the other postdocs in the lab, we had to go out and buy a computer part. It doesn't matter why, but we had to leave for a while. And we're out, it was like 11 o'clock when we left, and we find the thing, we buy it, and I was driving, and no, he was driving. It doesn't matter. Somebody was driving. We had one car, and hey, you want to get lunch? There's a Hooters right over there. Why don't we get? And so we go and we decide that we're going to get some beers, which we shouldn't have done because it was the middle of the day and we were working, but we did anyway. And we, had a few, and then we go back to the car, and the car wouldn't start. And this was all out panic because what do you do? You're in a Hooters parking lot. You're supposed to be at work. And we didn't have AAA or anything. We were poor postdoctoral candidates. So we thought it over for a while, and the only thing I could think to do was to call my wife and ask her if she could come and give us a jump. She was at work, so I had to actually get my wife to leave her job and drive to Hooters to jump the car so that I could get back to work. And that was not an easy one to explain, I'll tell you. Restaurants. That is hilarious, Skip. I never heard that term. Okay, Tim, success. Tim has inserted the earwig that will be stuck with me for the rest of the night. Grease is the word. Thank you, Tim. Too much spandex. That's an interesting point of view, Michael. Now, Everett, I'm sure a time will come. So Florida was not scummy. Yeah, up here they're just. I, actually, have I been in one up here? I don't know that I've actually been to a Hooters in Pennsylvania. Every time I tried to go, I was talked out of it. But I'm told that they're kind of seedy. You are the champion, my friend, Tim. Yes, Skip, you're spilling a lot of Texas secrets. There's going to be a mass exodus. Forget about Carter Hall. The YTPC is moving to Texas. Well, Doug, that's good thinking, and I have to admit you've done better than I would have in that situation with that excuse. But the fact is, we had both had a few drinks, and it was pretty obvious, and I knew it was going to be pretty obvious. Yes, Jim, how are you doing? I'm sorry if I missed you already say this, but hopefully you're well on the mend now, my friend. And Corvette Jim, who had some surgery, and then MRSA, which is nothing to laugh at. Never been in a bad Hooters, really, Jim. Maybe it's just Pennsylvania. Alrighty, that would be hilarious. An investigative roadway ramble to Hooters. Yes, Steph, I know. Carter Hall Estate has its perks, so I agree with you. Yeah, Tim, I guess, you know what? It, I could have probably come up with something like that, but the truth is, telling her the truth in this case, she was a little miffed because I had her leave work, but she saw the humor in it. Uh, oh, Jim, I'm sorry to hear you had a little setback, but glad you got a positive outlook there, buddy, and we'll keep you in prayer too. And Corvette Jim, we gotta keep him on the prayer list as well. Oh, Gary. I actually have a really, I don't think I'm going to tell this story, but I have a story about that sort of bar that Gary mentioned that actually involves the same guy that I was at the Hooters with. This was, I'm not going to tell that story tonight. You'll have to catch me on a night when I've got hard liquor for that one. There you go, Doug. He miraculously recovered and bought us a few rounds. good documentary. I agree, Tim. Honesty is the best policy. Steph, I don't know how to respond to that without getting myself into trouble, so I'm just going to let that one go by. Knowing this guy, he probably has a YouTube channel. Yes, Michael Case, I did get the Kindle and I love it. I've been using it every day. Usually read for about an hour in the evening, and it's just fantastic. The Kindle paper. Oh, thank you, Eddie. Thank you so much, my friend. Now don't go paying money to fund the roadway vlog to Hooters, because I can't promise I'm going to do that. I'm glad you guys are having fun, Everett. I'm enjoying it too. Absolutely, Steph. They were incredibly dumb. Retail jeans. Gotcha, Doug. They come in handy. You're honestly not missing much, Timber Drifter. He says he's never actually seen a Hooters restaurant. I mean, they're just a sports bar type place that happens to have, well, the waitresses are different than most sports bars. Yeah, now Tilted Kilt, at least here, they try to be more upclass, but they're clearly a, how can I put this? They're an almost gentleman's club, but not quite. That's right. They do have really good wings. Now, it's been over 20 years since I've had the wings, so I'm assuming they're still really good. But they didn't hire Steph, so they do indeed suck. Doug Owen, thank you, my friend. That is very kind of you, sir. I hope you don't want that to go towards the Hooters vlog. They're a look, don't touch sports bar. That's a good way to put it, John. You guys have been very generous tonight, and I really do appreciate everyone. Yeah, Steph, not a bad thing, really, is it? Wow, Michael, that must have been an event. Well, we've only got 3 minutes, and I got a lot of beer to drink here. You know, Eddie, I'm trying to think of myself how we got onto this topic. I don't know. Oh, somebody mentioned the tilted kilt. They said because we were talking about bar food, and they said I should take my wife to the tilted kilt. That's how we got on it. Not typical YTPC conversation for sure. All right, Scott, you have a great night and a good weekend. Thanks for joining us, buddy. So I'm gonna start winding down, but we're probably gonna go a little past 9:30 just because I'm not done. But one thing I wanted to mention for next week is, believe it or not, and this really kind of shocked me, I've hit 100 of these live streams. I really can't believe that, but I've been doing it that long, but this is 100. And that's not including the sort of one-offs, like the Saturday giveaways and that sort of thing. So next week, I believe, will be the 100th. And I figure we got to do something for that. So, having said that, I do not know what that's going to be, but I think we're going to do a giveaway. We're definitely going to do some trivia. So we'll definitely have some trivia next week, and just have a little party. I'm going to try to do a pipe giveaway. I'm a little worried about the trivia because lately the delay has been really extensive. It's like a 30-second delay. So any of you guys that have been doing trivia contests, if you've done any recently, let me know if they're working, because I don't want folks to get upset if they see their answer came in before somebody else's. I hate it when that happens, and it does happen quite a bit. Thank you, all the folks that are sending congratulations. And as I've said often, you're the ones to congratulate, because if you didn't show up, I wouldn't be doing this. There you go, Corvette Jim. We can go to Hooters for the 100th. Jose Cavendish, hello. Good to see you. Thank you, Piper, on the 45. It's very kind. Thank you, everyone that is 100 bottles of beer live stream. Thank you for all the congratulations. I appreciate it. And the answer might be 7. Yes, indeed, Jim. The answer might be 7. So if anyone has any ideas, anything they think would be fun next week beyond trivia, let me know. Drop me an email. Be happy for ideas. And if worse comes to worse, we'll just have some fun with trivia. And I've got some pipes that were donated. I can give one of those away. Yeah, we'll have a good time. Tim has finished his pipe. So that would be, wow, that was impressive, Tim. If I'm thinking of this right, that's an hour and 20 minutes. You guys are almost at 100 too, Steph. That is fantastic. If I thought for a minute that Hooters would let me do the live stream, I'm like this close to considering it. They won't let me do it though. Robert Miller, hello. Wow, that is impressive, Steph. Steph and Skip, 93. Yeah, they add up quickly. Well, you're slipping, Tim. 3 relights. Yeah, John, but you do like 7 live streams a week. That's true, Tim. That's a good reason not to do it. You can't smoke a pipe in there. I agree, Jose Cavendish. I'm sorry I gave you a hard time, John. That is an impressive achievement, the 101 live streams. And, it's uh it's just amazing, and I'm sure you feel the same way that I do, how folks just keep showing up, and that makes it all worthwhile. Oh, Skip, you must be looking forward to tomorrow morning. All right, Kilted Piper, Steve, and Miss Kathy, you have a great night. Happy birthday, Steve, and have a great weekend. Sailor, that's okay. We're running a little bit late tonight, my friend. I miss that too, Gary. I really do. I don't miss the guy next to me smoking a cigarette, but I miss being able to have a cigar or a pipe at a bar for sure. Well put, Everett. You make time for Haunted Bookshop. That is cool, Texas Piper. Bar right next to a B&M that lets you smoke. We do have the Cigar International that I was talking about. They have a lounge that you can smoke in, and they've got a bar. But if you want food, it's really weird. They give you a takeout menu, and you can order off the takeout menu, and then they call up like local places and have it brought over. But such is life. I mean, it's better than nothing, I suppose. All right, folks, I think we're going to call this one to an end. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I've really enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing you next week. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. And I should be back on Sunday. I'll definitely do a video on Sunday, and we can catch up a bit then. So thank you once again. Please remember to keep Eric the Blue Collar Pipe Smoker's dad and his whole family in prayer. Keep Brian Dorn and his family in prayer. Anyone else that we talked about tonight? I know there was a list at the beginning, and I apologize that I just don't have it all in mind right now. The whole community, and especially tomorrow, keep folks that are going to be having to relive some difficult memories tomorrow. Keep them in prayer as well. And if you don't like prayer, happy thoughts. All right, folks. Take care now.